So, we're gonna say hello to the people watching the VODs on YouTube. Hi.
Hello. Hi, VOD
Hello.
Squad.
Hello.
You're all lovely.
Yes, you're awesome. Yeah, don't mind my sick voice. But yeah, we're back. Would you guys mind rolling a d4, please, to see who gets to do the dreaded recap of 2 weeks without D&D?
I actually would mind.
No.
I mean, let the dice decide for us.
4.
No, I didn't get to do it. I was gonna do it.
Villasaurus, Rexmoa.
Oh no.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I mean, you can help him. You can.
Yeah, let's see how far we get.
Exactly.
Okay, well, you can start by helping me remember where the start of the session was. I'm pretty sure it started with us outside of the burning orphanage.
Correct.
Where
Yeah.
Ambrose grew up. There was a very heartfelt exchange the session before last session. And so we had to find out what to do with these orphans. And we were like, should we sell them? Or like what do you do with them? And then Ren popped up, thank goodness. And she
did not.
She did not?
No, I'm saying we did not sell them. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, that was a joke. Yeah. And then Ren was like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are making too much noise in my backyard. Please stop that. And we were like, look at all these orphans. We kind of saved them from a bunch of hags. And then Ren was like, I don't like that. And we were like, please, Ren, please help us with these orphans. We don't know what to do. And then she's like, okay, come follow me. And we went on a little adventure through the town. And Rin introduced us to like the underground black market, which unfortunately, due to economic reasons, is not as bustling as it used to be.
I thought it was abandoned.
Yeah.
I mean, almost.
It's that
gone.
not bustling.
It's dusty.
It's very empty. You know, people used to fight down there. Did you all know that? We gotta, and then Rexmoa was like, are we gonna make these orphans fight each other? And Rin ignored that. And there was a magic wall, very convincing. Like no other. Yeah, I think actually it wasn't magic. It was like technology or something. It was like some kind of hologram. Artificing shenanigans. And she led us to the manor of her, I don't know what their relationship is. I kind of forgot. Like her, I guess, sponsor or patron or
Best buddy,
heterosexual life partner, whose name escapes me. But we got introduced to. We got introduced to a cool robot butler whose name also escapes me. Hold on, it's in the notes.
Yes.
I think it's actually in the.
Yeah, we have pictures of them.
We do.
Percival. And then Percival was like, Lady Rin, welcome back to the manor. Beep, beep, bop. Except he doesn't sound like that.
Beep, bop, bop.
Yeah, and then,
Like D3PO.
and then Rin was like, don't call me that. and then Rin jumped off to like go talk to her other, like, I guess her boss. We'll just call her something different every time. And so we, the party, were left with 12 orphans and a robot. And so we decided to try to shake the robot down for information by playing 20 questions. Not to much success. They programmed him very well. They were not running on Windows 11. Oh yeah, and the other important thing is that the lady of the house was powering her automatons with a power source that was not the usual stratagems, which had a different glow to it. I believe stratagems have a blue glow, and Percy had like a white glow to them, which is like the distinguishing visual factor to it, correct? Is that correct?
Correct.
I think so.
Okay, and then, we didn't get our game of 20 questions done. And eventually, the lady of the house led us into her humble abode. And then her and Rin just started grilling us. It was terrible. And like, I got kind of nervous. And then it turns out, you got pranked. Haha. And, and then...
So ready to throw down.
Yeah. And And then Kipper was like, oh, thank goodness I'm not dealing with another snooty noble who thinks they're better than us. And we got introduced to Lady Borealis, who is also a dragonborn and who is the sister of the headmaster of the Scholars Academy. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, and she has a robot pet of not specific nature who is also powered by this new invention of hers. And there was cool art. Cool art got commissioned. Someone pull it up on the screen. Someone link it. I don't know.
I can pull it up on the screen. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
ZJ knows how to.
Yeah, and we made sure to like take care of these orphans. I think the arrangement was that Lady Borealis was going to house them in her manor while they get sent to school at the academy. And we made sure to tell them about Michael's peanut allergy. And the episode concluded with us saying goodnight to Michael, Alice, Abby, Josiah, Hawthorne, Balder, Chrysanthemum, Jonathan Jr., Peter, Scout, Luna, and Serana. And then we all took a bath together and had a heart-to-heart.
Yeah.
That is
we went. Dude, he skipped over the heart-to-heart bit a little bit because when the heart-to-heart happened, we all got into the baths. And then it just started off with like, I don't know, just like we're all naked in the baths, and then
I unceremoniously take off my
like,
clothes.
yeah, like we all enter, and Kipper's never done like a public bathhouse thing before, so he's like, so where are the towels? And he just looks to his left, and Ambrose is already just like immediately naked, like clothes disappeared like magically, and Kipper's like, oh, okay. And then as we go into the water, Ambrose gets emotional because, you know, he did just see the actual death of his mentor. But
Rexmoa brought about this his fault.
yeah, so we're all naked in the bath, and then Ambrose is like, I'm really sad. We're going to talk about emotions. And we talk about emotions. And we kind of all forget that we're naked, and we did a group hug, and then yeah.
Thorn was behind a partisan the whole time, though. She was drawing Galarian in the mist fog stuff on the walls.
Yeah.
I guess we're not that progressive.
I just want to point that out there, just so you guys know. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just what dude bros do, you know.
You can headcanon whatever you want, but just make sure to like this is how it happened.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
That's fine. It's fine.
it happened.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. You guys had spent a night of relax after the whole ordeal that happened in the orphanage. So, you guys are led into your rooms again. You guys have your own double rooms to stay the night. You get ready for bed. You feel relaxed. This is the best night you guys have ever had in a while. You guys were able to take a hot bath and just simply be, you know, very much forget about the world momentarily, about your mission and about everything that is going on around you. So as you guys get to your rooms, specifically you, Ambrose, you would see that while your friend and companion Chi is no longer with you in the jar that she was usually in, it feels a little bit more lonely. The night feels a little bit more lonely, even though obviously you have somebody in the bed next to you. But you also notice something else as you're going to lay down your sword and put it next to you as Ambrose usually sleeps. You can see from the lock of hair that was given to you, Ambrose, that now adorns the handle of your sword, small blue flowers start to grow and bloom. next to your eyes, like fast. They are, as I said, the petals are a gradient with blue going from blue to the top into white to the center. And they have a pleasant scent. Obviously, the stone in the pommel of your blade also gives a soft glimmer of the same jade green as it usually does, especially when the flowers are blooming. And you guys are able to sleep very well tonight. As a matter of fact, you sleep so well that, and because of the whole thing that has happened, you guys are going to take the advantages of a long rest, which means reset everything to full. And also, everybody will get 1 inspiration point because, God, we have had some very insanely good sessions. So I'm going to give you guys all an inspiration point.
Where would the inspiration point go?
It's on the top left. You see like a little dragon thingy? Yeah. It's like a little dragon thingy that if you click it, it just puts it, it says inspiration right there. Should I remind you, inspiration is a resource that I, the DM, can give you guys, and you can use it at any point in time to reroll any sort of check, anything. I know there's rules about it. I know there's rules about it, but it's just I don't care. Yeah, I will allow you to reroll whatever. Also, Villa, unfortunately, they do not stack, so you just retain the one that you have.
All right, that's all good. That's my fault.
It's
Gotta
fine.
use it.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So you guys wake up in this manner now, being, you feel at home in this manner because obviously you've been treated as a guest, as a proper guest, not just somebody that they needed to have, or or mistreated in any way. You're doing fine. You wake up well rested and everything. Taurin, however, as you wake up, you feel kind of slow, sluggish even. While you definitely feel like you've rested enough, you don't feel tired at all. You feel this odd sensation. And Taurin, because of what's affecting you, and it's been a while now, unfortunately, you are going to get a debuff.
Oh.
So Taurin, make sure to take note of this because of the affliction that you have. During daylight, you get a -1 to all of your ability checks.
Ooh. Okay.
Scary.
Got it.
So as you guys are getting ready, standing up, getting your gear on and everything, you hear a knock on the door, and it is Percival, the automaton from Lady Borealis, which I'm just gonna put a little picture for everybody to see. Boop. The automaton from Lady Borealis calls for you to your door one by one and tells you that breakfast is ready and to, follow him to the main dining hall. Are you guys going to follow or,
Yeah, I mean, Taurin would get up, of course, feeling the sluggishness. She would start to kind of feel a little bit of panic, probably start, creeping in, get the little prickles going up your neck to the back of your head. Because she's starting to feel that fear. She's like, this is becoming a bit more real now.
I will say, Taurin, this feeling, as long as you're like not receiving like direct sunlight, the feeling is not as bad. But like, for example, you move over and one of the windows just kind of like shines light on you and you feel the sluggishness a lot more. That doesn't mean that the effect is lessened by not being under direct sunlight, but you just don't feel it like physically as much.
Feel it like the sunlight itself, or you mean like
this like sluggish kind of,
okay?
slowness kind of feeling.
But there's like no burning sensation or anything like that.
No,
it's just
no. It's just that kind of like, I don't feel like, you feel like a slight shiver to your hands. You know that you're not gonna be like as dexterous, or like, you feel like your mind is like thinking about all the things, so it might be harder to recollect things.
A bit more slow.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got slow. Got it. Alrighty. Okay.
Come on, get up, sleepyhead. It's time for breakfast. I know just the thing that'll help you. And Rexmoa just opens up the curtains and lets in all the sunlight.
She squints and goes, and recoils from the light. No.
Then he closes them. It's like, oh, maybe that wasn't a good idea.
Little hiss. Close the curtain.
We might need a moment, Percival. But we'll meet you in the dining hall. Where is it? Down the hall, correct?
He would go down the hall on the door to your left. You cannot miss it. The doors will be open. And he just kind of exits on the little, you can hear the mechanical sounds of the parts moving as he exits, go to the other door, and just tells everybody the same thing.
Here, let me help you out. And then I'll try to like stand Taurin up. Maybe.
He'll take the hand, get up, and then she'll probably look for something to try like a hood or something, kind of like keep it over her head and try to like cover up as much of her body as possible at this point. Maybe some gloves so she can find it.
Yeah, remember you do have your cold weather clothes, so I'm assuming there's enough coverage there for you to, be completely covered.
Yeah. That'll work.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever everybody is ready and heads to the main hall, as you guys exit the rooms and start heading into the hall, you can see that the door is open and you can hear the sounds of a lot of children, the sound of children cheering and like playing and doing stuff. Obviously you can also hear the sound of some of the automaton assistants of this house moving around, and you can see some of them like carrying the plates and delivering them to each of the children. And in one of the seats is obviously Lady Borealis, sitting down, just enjoying meals, just kind of having some fun, laughing, talking to the kids. And Rin is in one of the seats as well, messing around with one of the kids and stuff, And there are seats available for you. Rin would look at you guys and give you a little wave as you see the scene unfolding. You can tell that you can see that the kids are eating like quite fast, because they have not had a meal this well put in a while. So you can tell that they're rushing to eat, Sorry.
It's okay. We all kind of processed it all at the same time. Good day, Lady Rin. And good morning, Alice, Abby, Michael, Josiah, Jonathan, Hawthorne, Balder, Chrysanthemum, Sirana, Peter, Scout, and Luna. Please, take your time when you eat. You're gonna get a stomach ache.
Everybody just kind of, all the kids just say hi in like unison. They wave their hands. They look very happy as to what they seemed just merely like 8 hours ago, probably. Rin complains and says, "Hey, it's just Rin."
Okay, that's correct. What is for breakfast, just Rin?
So you can see that as soon as you guys take your seats, Percival and another couple of automatons that don't look exactly like Percival, they're more simple in design. You can tell like Percival is more on the advanced side of things. He puts plates on in front of you. You see that the breakfast is very fresh. They are some nice eggs, scrambled. You see strips of bacon that does look incredibly good. You can tell that this is not like a cheap cut of bacon. It is thick and very, very good looking. You see bread, like baskets of bread are being put in front of like a few seats, and it is steaming hot, like just out of the oven bread. And you all get some fresh juice. And the robots do everything very efficiently. They just come in, drop the plate, go over doing their things. Percival is also helping them, but you can tell that in terms of like the robot kind of chain of command, Percival is at the top because he also helps direct the other robots and stuff.
He is the butler. It only makes sense.
And no, go ahead.
Oh,
Okay, so I was just gonna say, after wrangling Kipper, apparently.
Kipper woke up somehow earlier than Ambrose, and gave him he got like a Grinch face on, and he did like a jump from on top of his bed and then did a straight up belly flop on top of Ambrose to like shock him awake.
As long as you don't land on the sword.
like a friend, like prank style.
Like little brother jumping on big brother.
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Well, the natural response, of course, would be grabbing you and then pushing you into the pillow.
Yeah.
But then, after properly waking up, giving the good morning to Kipper, I will, like I mentioned in the text, I will mess with my hair a bit before undoing the braid that I keep in my hair unless I'm cleaning it throughout the entire campaign. And as I undo the braid, most of the braid is still there, but I'll undo a couple of the braids together, and then I will take a knife and I will cut the braid off of my head. And I will take the braid and I will put it next to the bag that carries the skeleton of my mentor.
I like that. I like that
Am I
ceremony.
gonna have to edit your PNG? I feel like I am. We're getting ready for bald season.
Oh boy.
Well, only removing the braid and nothing else, of course.
Just
I don't know if you guys ever played 9, Final Fantasy 9, but I picture that with Garnet, with how she cuts her hair and goes, and it's like L'Oreal commercial, still fabulous short hair.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Ambrose is about to get into his glow up, messy haircut.
Just chopped, uneven.
Ambrose's hair is a bit messy and uneven. It's really only the braid that's ever actually kept well. Everything else is typically just kind of messy, somewhat well kept, just made sure it's not in his face. And with that, whenever Kipper is ready, I and it'll be completely silent. There's no words stated. With that, after like wrapping it up and putting it next to the skeleton of his mentor's corpse inside the bag, Ambrose, I will simply ask, "Are you ready for breakfast, Kipper?"
Yeah. No, I'm definitely ready for breakfast. If, you need anything, I mean, obviously we're going to be eating next to each other. Never mind, this is silly. Let's just go eat. You already know what I'm thinking.
And I will go ahead and open the door. And as always, despite the fact that obviously we're just going for breakfast, I have my sword on my back.
Correct.
Though it does look a little bit different. The sword does have the lock of hair from Chi, and is also, I was also going to comment that too. The hilt also has some blooms draped across it.
Exactly, and you see the scene unfolding. As I said, a very lovely breakfast. You can see also fresh jam being placed on, plates around the table, and butter as well. And if you guys would grab a taste, you would tell it's freshly made butter. Like this, I cannot express how good these ingredients are. Especially for adventurers like you that have been eating whatever you can. So, it's quite the difference. And
tomatoes, soup,
exactly.
and grilled cheese.
Exactly. And you see that the kids just finish their meal and they ask for more. And some are being given more. Some others that have already had enough. The robots even cut them off, being like, "Okay, well, you've eaten enough for a normal human."
Children are always hungry.
Exactly. And everybody is just enjoying having a good time. Even Borealis, you can see she's enjoying it. She's laughing, helping out some of the kids and stuff. She is having a lovely time in this breakfast. And eventually, the kids finish their food fast and they just kind of stay there, just relaxing, because obviously they are pretty much conditioned to not leave until they're told, which is something that in the very awful conditions they were before, they had to do. But obviously, this is something odd for Borealis, or, well, not so much for Rin, but it is kind of strange, but she's kind of just like, oh god, what should I do, And as the food is starting to, be done, Borealis just looks at the party of you guys, and she says, "Well, we have a lot to talk about, and we have some things to discuss, things that are a little bit on the private manner, if you understand. I did get a read of the ledger that you presented me, and I have some interesting information about that. So whenever you guys are ready, we can come over to my study, or perhaps I can show you my laboratory, because I do need to run some tests on you." And she gestures over to Taurin.
And she goes, and kind of muffles.
Yeah, what Rexmoa said is it is kind of true. You're kind of a little bit hungover. It's not like a bad hungover, but it's just slightly,
It's dying.
Yeah. Exactly. So, if you guys want to do anything by the time the breakfast is done, you can. If not, we will continue towards where Borealis is taking you.
I always forget you guys can't see my hand motions when I do that stuff. It's I raise my hand up, by the way.
I know.
I do that all the time.
We need like a Microsoft Teams like hand raising function.
Let's get the potato.
I'm pretty sure
thing
this
and you
thing
can see my
has
reactions.
that thing. I think it does.
It might. I don't know. I've never fully used this to its like peak capabilities.
I don't really know.
Oh,
either.
inside the Roll20, it works.
I'm
You gotta turn your
pretty
cam on though.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But I suppose I will, before we get to going with Borealis, I will just kind of speak up to the party and say, I just wanted to thank you all for last night. I feel a bit better. I think crying my heart out to you did at least a bit of wonder.
Honestly, I think we'll all be in better spirits knowing that you're doing better as well, and it was a lot. I know that if I feel like a stone has been taken off my back, that you must feel like a mountain was taken off of yours by now.
The weight is lifted from your shoulders. Yes. Very nice.
What was
I'm not going to pretend it all went away. It was a mistake trying to pretend as such. The passing of my mentor is going to torment me for some time, I'm sure. But I can rest a bit easier knowing the lengths that she went for me, for him. I'll kind of just like mess with my hair a bit, kind of where that missing patch is, where the braid was.
Is it just me, or is your hair shorter, Ambrose?
Kipper looks at Taurin, just like
Probably
putting like a
watching
little
you do it.
finger on like, yeah. Kipper's like just doing a little shh, but like silently.
Oh, shh, sorry.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to say it back out loud.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I might look a bit strange for a bit, I suppose, but I cut the braid. When I set out for my journey to look for my mentor, my father, I braided it, a promise to myself that I would find him, and that I would give him the peace that he deserves. I know it may sound strange, but the reason I did it that way, I don't think I ever told you, but for some reason, my mentor was proficient in handling hair, and he taught me how to braid my hair after I started growing it out when I left the orphanage. And so I dedicated the braid to him. And now that I have finally done the thing that I spent the past 7 years trying to do, I removed the braid. Maybe in the future, I will put another braid in for a different reason. But for now, the braid is his.
I don't think you would have wanted it any other way. Leaving him with a piece of you, I can see how that would definitely give him more peace than not. And about how your hair looks, it doesn't really look weird. I just think that maybe just a little bit more styling. Kipper like goes up to like the area where like their hair braid was lost, and he's just kind of like ruffling it from underneath, kind of like, huh. And then he like turns over to like the orphans, and he's like, kids, would you want to style this big rock man's hair?
You hear some of them say like, yeah, very excitedly, and some others are kind of like, eh.
Kipper like turns to Ambrose with a little bit of a Grinch grin.
Despite what one may have expected expression-wise, maybe a sigh, maybe a Tower expression, I smile. And I say, well, if you have any ideas in the future, I'd be happy to accept them. And with that, I will kind of get off the chair and I will sit down on the floor to allow the kids to mess with my hair as they so please.
Oh boy. So, yeah, I mean, eventually the kids
This is
are.
my favorite part so far of the campaign.
How old are the kids? They're like 12 and like 8 or something.
Yeah, they're all very, very young. So some of the kids cannot hold it and just go like get up from their seats and just kind of just lunge at you, Ambrose. And they're trying to style your hair, you know, just kind of combing it from side to side, giving you some like odd hairstyles or whatever they can do, you know. They're kind of fighting and being like, oh, but I want to do this side. No, let's do it this side. No, let's do it this way. And you know, it's a small avalanche of kids.
Taurin, I guess, will turn to Rexmoa and go, so what do you do for hairstyles?
Taurin, I've had my hair the same way for probably 30 years. And I just point to the spines on my head.
Oh, they don't like, you don't grow more or they don't fall off or anything? They just stay there?
Well, maybe if you're unlucky, they fall off. But luckily on my mom's side, most of the men retain their spines
Nice.
after they turn 40.
Very nice.
You well past that now?
Well, past is a bit much, but
Oh, you know,
I mean, I don't look like it, right?
I'm sorry, I spoke
If
a
you
little
had to
faster
guess,
than I could
if you had to
think.
guess, Kipper.
58.
Pretty close.
Okay, that's good. Kipper's like, looks to the side, like sweat dripping down his face. He was like, I almost died there. Kipper's being a bit gutsy today for some reason.
Hey, it must have been the
bath.
it must have been the bath, dude. It
bath.
as I said, it is probably one of the few times you've ever been truly relaxed, especially since you started this adventure.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking it was actually more because he saw us naked, so he felt a bit more at home.
Damn.
What?
Did Borealis say that she wanted to give Taurin a checkup before or after our initial meeting?
I mean, she did mention that she wanted to take you guys either to her study or to the lab because maybe she could do the meeting while, you know, doing the tests.
Okay.
Also, Rin says, about your earlier questions, I go by Rin because it's easier for people to say than the whole dang two-word name. Her name is Shining Trinket.
Taurin will kind of have a little idea pop in her head. Trinket. Rin, is that where you got it from? How cute. Trinket.
Can't believe I didn't put that together.
Very interesting.
Rin grumbles and nods. Okay, you got me. And so as you see, like, once the kids are already playing with Ambrose and everything, the robots are starting to pick up the dirty, like, plates and glasses and everything. And you can see, like, Borealis stands up as well, and she tells some things to Percival, some things that you cannot really hear, but yeah, you can tell it's clearly like orders about like the cleaning up and stuff. It's nothing secretive about it. She just doesn't want to interrupt the moment that is happening. And Percival would go and, relay this information to some of the other cleaners and things like that. Until, the table is finally clean. Everybody has had their full meal. And everybody's happy and, belly's full. So...
It's time for a nap. Stretch.
Exactly.
Taurin kind of mumble.
So as you guys... finish the meal, Borealis and Rin would walk over to the exit of the dining hall and just kind of wait for you to lead you into the study/laboratory.
Well, perhaps you'll have to take a nap on the examination table. Seems like our presence is needed, Taurin, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Nah, as long as they don't prick me too much with needles. Also, did you just make a bird out of a napkin?
Oh, yes, I did. It's something I learned in my travels.
What magic is that?
I'll have to teach you sometime. I believe they call it origami.
Fascinating.
Yeah, try pulling the tail. And then the wings start flapping.
No.
That's adorable.
The little cranes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can actually make those IRL.
I made a tiny one once. It was a little lopsided, but I tried in real life.
So once the robots have been instructed, Percival also walks over and waits by Borealis and Rin. And whenever you guys are ready to move on, we're going to continue over there. As I said, they're just waiting for you to lead you through the manor because, it is a very large house and you can definitely get lost in there.
How does the Ambrose hairstyling thing end up? Tell us, describe it to us.
Yeah,
So
it
we can
is
move on.
Very important.
it is a very ruffled up and kind of not
Kipper advised them to use as many ribbons as possible.
Yes, I was about to actually mention that. He ends up with a few ribbons. His hair, some bits of hair have like a bit of a ponytail, if you can call it that. It's just like a bundle of hair, just kind of tied up with a ribbon. You look like a. Do you remember, Ambrose, those Barbie dolls in Toy Story? The ones from Sid? I think it's Sid, the name of the kid?
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of look like that.
I'm kind of thinking of, do you guys remember Angelica's doll from Rugrats?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's another one. That's another one. Yeah, exactly. It is, it's definitely not pretty, but the kids had a fun time. And once you guys start heading over, Percival turns his head to look at you guys and say, "Don't worry. The kids will be taken outside and will be taken care by the robots." And Borealis goes, "Yep, until I can properly call my sister and tell her about the kids. I mean, I already sent her a message, but, she's a little busy."
I'd be more worried about the robots than the children, in all honesty.
Oh, don't worry. They're very durable. Trust me. I know. And she just kind of like gives a knock to Percival's like arm, and you hear like the metal clanking.
Take your word for it, but kids can also be very clever.
Try to get some good murals here and there. Just saying.
And she goes, "Oh God, Percival, Percy, you're gonna take care of that later. Please relay that information to the rest of the staff." And Percy goes, "Indeed, Lady Borealis." And Rin says, "I should train a couple to become sneaks." Just kidding.
Taurin kind of raised an eyebrow.
Excuse
Are
me,
you
what?
kidding, Trinket? Are you kidding?
What does that mean?
That's her name.
No, the snakes thing.
Oh.
Sneaks.
Sneaks.
Snake.
Not
I
snakes.
was like, wait, what? Went over my head.
Oh, okay. I was very confused. I'm like, I don't know what kind of
Snakes.
mana you would use in that situation.
Rin says, "It's called a joke, bunny boy," as they're all walking towards you. They go over to the right side of the building this time, walking over to the end of the hallway where the double doors were, the ones that you were introduced to at the last night. And you enter the study. You know the study. Books everywhere. A large, oh, that's your drawings.
I forgot about that.
Books everywhere, a large portrait of the family, and there is a doorway. You guys would be able to see it now that it is not, gloomy and dark. There is a doorway leading further into the manor. But first, Borealis walks over to the desk, and she goes, "All right. Now that we're here in confidence, we need to speak about what we know. First of all, do you have any other relevant information, perhaps?"
Relevance?
Yeah, anything that you have could be useful for us. I know you just gave me the ledger, but if you have any more pieces of information like this, we could probably use it. We do have some theories and some, possibilities, but we need to be very sure.
Apart from the orphanage, we kept Rin up to date on everything we learned.
Well, I suppose some details that might have evaded our passage of information. We, being me, have reason to suspect that there is some way in and out of the quarantine zone, unbeknownst to the greater public. I was pursuing an infected individual who was unfortunately quite far gone, and they ended up escaping through the waterways.
Oh, right. Yes. Well, yes, that is one of our major leads, actually. And she pulls out some, well, actually, no, she waves her hand and you see images start to pop up as small illusions on top of the desk. As she's speaking, the images would reflect what she's talking about. Now, we have a lot of reasons to believe there is a very huge involvement with the saints and this disease. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. And as I said, the images just display the faces of the saints and a recreation of what would be a deceased human in this case. She goes, well, first of all, what we know is that this disease started as well, what everybody thought was a leak of some sorts. Somebody was fixing some of the pipes around the Gray District, specifically, well, the area that is now the quarantine, and found this substance. Well, at first, people thought it was just the case of a gelatinous cube, or perhaps an ooze that got stuck in the pipe somehow. You know, those things can happen. But
Perhaps a giant slug.
exactly, any of those possibilities. However, it seems that after fixing the issue, well, the infection started spreading. As you may know, especially you, and she gestures over to Taurin, well, the period of mutation, let's call it, is much more different when we're talking about the way the host receives this disease. Now, normally, as you guys have seen, the host would be a mutated abomination of disease in about 24 hours if, say, some of this material, let's call it, got into your bloodstream. But it seems that anywhere else, it's a much slower process. I'm assuming the infection rate is much more different because we're obviously not talking about a normal pathogen. But what are your symptoms? She asks you, Taurin.
Other the impending anxiety, today, I've just been really tired, but I'm not tired.
Okay, so yes, we're on the right path. And she changes the illusion, the small image that is playing in front of you, to show like a little graph of things. And she goes, well, as we have gathered from your samples and from some other unfortunate happenings, we know that the disease goes into two phases. If you haven't really gotten any of this material in your bloodstream, and Rin pipes up saying, like, lethargic, and Borealis goes, yes. At first, you would start seeing some different coloration on your skin, perhaps some other tissues like ears, you know, inside of your nose.
Oh, you mean like this? And she like opened her mouth, bleh, and show her tongue.
Yeah, by the way, the tongue and the mouth is completely blue at this point, like this dark, unnatural blue. And she goes, oh, yeah, exactly like that. Oh, okay. So that is phase 1 of the disease. Then it comes phase 2. Phase 2 starts when the disease has starting to spread more into your body. You will start to feel, as Rin said, lethargic. At first it's going to be mild, but slowly it would become worse and worse and worse until we get to phase 3. Which is total photosensitivity, and your skin, well, luckily you have fur, but your skin will develop burns in direct sunlight.
Oh.
And, well, we don't want to get to phase 4 because, and you see the image of the graphic of a person, and it turns into the kind of weird abomination monster that you've seen. That is when the whole organism is affected, and well, we presume there is no going back from that stage. Now, of course, this is the stages of somebody who hasn't gotten the disease inside of their bloodstream. You've seen what happens when one does. The changes are almost immediate. Within 24 hours, you're gone. And we have been able to test some of these things with some live tissue, and we found some interesting things. And she waves her hand and the illusion disappears. And she gestures over to the door next in her study to keep you guys moving. And she opens the door, and it is, you can see that this is the part of the manor where the tower kind of springs up, because there are stairways, like not spiral, but like stairways leading up to more floors. And there is a workshop in there. There is like an actual like tinkerer's workshop. You see some other robots just kind of dealing with things. They're small, like kind of like cleaner slash, like organizing robots. And she enters and she pulls out a chair from one of the chairs that she had over there, and she gestures to you, Taurin, for you to sit down. And she goes, well, we have made some very interesting discoveries about this. First of all, this disease affects living tissue as well as dead tissues. So this is not a normal type of undeath. The creatures,
Like a zombie kind of thing?
you could say that. However, we have noticed that when dealing with dead tissue, the only way to really destroy this infection is with direct sunlight. It is unfortunate because the host will not survive.
Right. So have you guys had any other breakthroughs possibly? Maybe not a cure just yet, but anything to kind of help slow the process?
Well, here's the issue, and she gestures Percival, and Percival walks over to you and he goes, would you mind rolling your sleeve up? We're going to take a blood sample. And he walks over to one of the many tables of the workshop and he picks up a syringe. And she goes, well, here's the issue. We haven't really found a cure. This is not any ordinary disease, and magic doesn't even seem to affect it as much. I mean, we've tried healing it, we've tried curing it with spells, but it just nullifies it. Rin says it's a work in progress. So far, the only cure that we've seen is sunlight, but by the point in the infection where sunlight kills it, the host is also gone.
If this was so urgent, and with the way that Rin had said earlier that you would be able to help, why was this not taken care of earlier? Or at least Taurin was introduced to you earlier, considering how far the disease has progressed. And I know disease. This isn't... We don't have that much time. I know that we were planning on traveling, but until we can figure whatever's out is going on with Taurin, I definitely don't think we can move past this. I just can't help but feel we've already lost multiple days in not being able to find progress to Taurin when that could have saved her life if...
Well, I'm not dead yet, so there's still hope, it seems like.
Rin says, I can't just bring anyone here, especially people like people I just met. Sorry. And Borealis says, yes, let's keep the spirit up. Don't worry. We are going to take some tests because the only kind of samples that we have gotten are samples of already fully infected blood and tissues, but we haven't gotten any samples of a middle of the way. So with this, and you can see like Percival is just kind of holding your arm and just very precisely taking like blood off you, Taurin, like a syringe's worth of blood.
It's like, hey, now careful. 3 vials. That's my max, okay?
Percival will go, understood, and just continue the procedure. You can tell like this is like it's a machine. It's very precise with what it's doing. And Borealis continues speaking, and she says, now, while we get a sample of blood with the disease still developing, maybe I can formulate some sort of compound or some sort of... I don't really know what else I could design, but something that maybe accelerates the healing of your own body and destroying this disease, of course. You and she looks at you, Kipper. You are a man of medicine. You must understand that we have our own defense system. Maybe with a little bit of help from my technology, I could formulate something to help out that defense system. Of course, it was not something easy to get. As I said, I am really not allowed. That's a bad word, but I can't really go freely into the lower city, and especially not if there is a disease on its way. That's why, and I'm really sorry, otherwise it would have been me, but Percival is taking a sample.
It's not your fault. I know that you're in a difficult situation considering the multiple different counterbalances that you have to put into place, considering how many enemies you had by the time that we arrived in the city. It's just somewhat overwhelming when I don't have the abilities to help someone, especially considering my profession. But we are here now, so consider me at your disposal in trying to solve whatever puzzle this disease poses. I don't know if this aligns with one of your theories, but around the time that this disease occurred, was this after the tower had already been made?
Yes. The command tower, you mean? The command tower is really nothing dangerous. I've been there. It's just a workshop. I doubt they're hiding anything in there. As he said, I've been there. I've gone up and down.
It might not be in, but perhaps underneath. Or not specifically. I guess what I'm getting at is we both feel like there's something wrong with the gems that power the things in the city. I'm wondering if this is a byproduct. If it's not necessarily the intention to make people sick, it's just the byproduct of making people sick for a quote-unquote greater good, which doesn't necessarily mean malevolency. It means more complacency, which, in my opinion, can be equally intolerable.
I mean, it's blue. The stratagems are blue. Coincidence? I don't know.
You see Borealis look a little thoughtful about this, and she goes, well, that is definitely an interesting theory. We're gonna have to think about that a little more. And she goes, well, now that you've mentioned underneath, well, we do have some information about underneath. Now, first of all, she looks at Rexmoa and she goes, yes, the creatures try to escape the waterway because we believe that underneath in the sewers of the city, deep down below, is where this thing originated. Of course, it came out of pipes. It makes sense. Now the creatures go over there. We are not entirely sure if they are some sort of hive mind or they just look for safety, but it is definitely coincidental that most, if not all, of the creatures end up in the sewers. Now, Rin here has already explored a little of the sewers, and it is very interesting, the findings that she's got. First of all, this thing is not really attacking the upper city as much. But we figured out why. Rin did. It seems that below the upper city there are some secret, we'll call it laboratories as well. And well, this all ties into one group of people in particular. I'm pretty sure you've encountered them. Shady, tattooed, often wearing weird markings on their bodies. Well, we are inclined to believe that these individuals, which are describes themselves as the Shadow Druids, are doing some sort of experiment. Now, we don't really know the full story of it, but that's why we're needing some help. Now, I know from the ledger that the kits were being delivered, and not all of them, which is quite interesting. What is the criteria for them to not deliver all the kits? Also, Rin did tell me about the encounter that you had prior to the whole orphanage deal. How they were chasing one of the kids. Was there something special about this kid?
He was casting. I mean, he didn't necessarily seem very skilled in it, but raw talent was there. It's just that he didn't know exactly what he was casting at any given moment. It was just one spell after another.
You certainly had a lot of mana, if nothing else.
Interesting. Now I wonder what was gonna be of the hags if, well, you wouldn't have dealt with them and burned down the monastery, which, by the way, good job. She gives you a double thumbs up.
Yeah, we could have got some answers out of there, probably.
Is this like an actual good job, or is this like when Rin tells us good job?
I feel sarcasm, but that's just me.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a lot of trouble for the city, but you did take out what seemed to be an evil force, so for me, it's a very good job.
Yeah. I, for one, am in agreement, my lady. we were working towards the greater good.
Oh, but call
In
me
my opinion.
Borealis. Don't worry, you don't have to call me lady. That's just for formal things.
It was actually kind of. Oh, sorry. You go first.
Okay. The orphanage deserved to be burned a long time ago.
And considering that in one moment there were 4 hags in that one orphanage, if we hadn't gotten there by the time that we did, there would have just been 4 powerful hags within this city.
I think we're knocking them out along the way. Just saying.
Yeah. We do have a tendency to take care of problems when they arise, not necessarily before they arise, but at least you don't have to deal with it yourselves now.
Rin says, it was good, yeah, even if it wasn't laying low, which she gives you a little glare at you, Kipper.
Oh, sure. If everything is laying low, I guess like the people just sending babies off to be, I don't know, eaten by other hags. We should just, I don't know, let them go. That sounds nice.
A feast for hags. A diner for hags. Sounds pretty gross.
Don't entertain the thought, Taurin.
Well, it was a thought. It popped in my head. I had to say it.
You did not have to say it.
It came out. I couldn't help
The children are in the other room.
Well, speaking of children, I think that we perhaps should concentrate on working towards more cooperation and not being so standoffish with our new friends who have so graciously invited us into their home and who so graciously are cooperating with us and sharing their resources.
And
Sarah Kipper specifically.
and as you guys were talking
Kipper's
about
fine with Borealis right now. I think it just him and Rin are having like a little spat.
as you guys were talking, you can see like Percival has taken the blood sample, and he moves back to the table and comes back over to you, Taurin. And as you finish talking, he goes, excuse me, my lady, I am going to take a sample of your saliva, if you don't mind.
Oh, not at all.
What does the blood look like?
The blood is...
To collect the saliva, does he have to kiss her?
It's a
No.
robot.
It's a robot.
It's a robot with lips.
No, actually, it doesn't have any
Come
lips.
on.
This one doesn't.
Have it actually.
It's a
It has,
robot
like,
with lips
goggles for
now.
eyes.
Bip Bip, don't let your general practitioner kiss you. That's
That is
against
true.
HIPAA.
That is true.
Oh, that's it. I wish they had told me that sooner.
But yeah,
My face right now.
yeah, Percy just kind of like uses a little freaking, what's the name of the thing to do a swab?
Swab?
Yeah.
Q-tip things.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I don't know the
exactly.
yeah.
I don't
Giant
remember
ones.
either.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, but pretty much he gives you a little swab with that and just kind of saves the sample as well. And
I hate doing
Rin,
that, by the way.
yeah, and Rin says, what about the little fairy? And Borealis chimes in and goes, oh yes, Rin did tell me you had a fairy companion.
I'll give a strange look, and I suppose the easiest way to explain this is I will just slowly remove like the sword, like the entire like sheath from my back, and I'll just like kind of gently hold the hilt towards the two here and say, well, the hags that kidnapped that's the reason why we had to leave immediately and couldn't wait at all. We found out that the reason the hags were so interested in her was that she had some innate magics that the hags wanted to use to make themselves stronger. After putting a stop to it, we realized our little friend was a bit more important, and she had to return to the Feywild. She did leave us with a lock of her hair, And some vines, I guess. Not really sure how that one happened, though.
As you show the hilt of the sword, you can see Borealis gasp as she moves over closer to the sword, but is not really too focused on the lock of hair or the flowers that are blooming out of it, but the stone in the pommel. And she lifts a hand and just kind of places it like over the stone. You can see like her hand just emits a soft glow, and her eyes also glimmer, kind of like when Zephyr was doing the mind thing, but obviously she's looking at the stone. And she goes, "Where did you get this? This is amazing."
Well, I'll kind of like glance back at the party and say, I guess we are to be allies in the future. From now on, this is the Shard of Vithius, gifted to me by her herself. I am the chosen.
She goes,
You believe in the Titans, Lady Borealis?
she goes, "No way, really?" And she goes, "I have only heard about this in books. This is so exciting." And she looks at you, Rexmoa, and goes, "Well, of course I do. It's a very, very nice story. Of course, there's people that think this is just a tale, but I do believe in the scientific method, and
The dwarves, for example.
Yes, yeah, some other people as well, but showing me this, you've pretty much proven that the theory is actually real."
Yes, we've
Can
certainly
do a
been
lot more
putting
than
these theories into practice. you could say.
Rin
Well, she
says,
took that well.
Rin says, "Better the old gods than the new ones." She just kind of waves a hand at this.
Gods. Taurin kind of just shake her head. Like, oh, gods, whatever.
I mean, either way, I think the world will still end.
Wait, the world will end? What? How?
Oh, wait, never mind.
No,
Everything's fine.
Wait, wait. The world will end?
One thing at a time, Lady Borealis, please.
Kipper.
I can't afford to get distracted.
Okay, but I suppose that's a much bigger threat if the whole world is going to end. But don't worry. We'll talk about this in a moment. She kind of backs out of the stone a little bit, and she goes, "Right, where was I? Okay, so, we figured out that there are some illegal experiments happening, not necessarily underneath the command tower, but things are happening underneath the city."
How do you know that?
Well, she kind of looks at Rin a little bit, and you can tell like her expression, her like very excited and happy expression, kind of like, you know, turns into a more of a sad one for a second. And she goes, "Well, we had a bit of an encounter with these laboratories." And she would look at Rin and go, "Is it okay if I show them?"
Oh no.
Rin. If it's a touchy subject, I mean, you don't have to tell us, but I was just curious. Sorry.
And, well, let's wait and see. Oh, Rin lets out a breath. It's best they see. Might be time for you guys to meet our other associate. And Borealis nods and starts walking over to one of the doorways around this tower. This is a kind of simple looking doorway, and she opens the door, just kind of gesturing everybody over.
Rin, you said it's a morbid view?
I think that was for the end of the world thing, but you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
referencing that.
Yeah.
Got it. Just making sure. I was like, hold the phone. Okay, we're good. Continue.
So as you walk over to this door, you can see what looks to be some sort of, we'll call it an operating room. There is a, you know, the implements of surgery all on the sides, on not shelves, but like on cabinets and, you know, on tables and stuff. The place looks very, very clean as well. And in the center, there is obviously a bed with a figure under a blanket. It looks human, this figure. As you guys enter and walk inside, Rin, you can see her ears are flat as, you know, she walks over and places a hand over the figure's head for a moment, then lifts up this blanket to show off his face. It is the face of a man that looks quite bestial, not very unnaturally so. It's kind of almost on the same kind of way as Rin, you know, half human, half beast. This one was different. It was more humanoid than beast. Obviously, it is on this table, not moving. Rin just kind of, you know, looks at him and sighs, and she goes, "Yeah, so this is our other associate. I've known him since must have been like 13 or 14. I'd been on these streets since I was 10. Met him one night in the lower city. He was getting beaten up when I was going for food. He didn't talk much, but looked scary enough to others. And I just thought we could help each other. So we decided to be a team." She gives a half smile at this. Or more like I bullied him into being a team. But he did stuck around, even though he didn't have to stay by a stinky and bratty cat like me. I found out around that time that he used to be in that orphanage of yours, Rockman. She looks at you, Ambrose. Except he ran away, which, lucky for us, I guess. And Ambrose, you in fact do kind of see the resemblance of this person. There was a kid in the Adarin Cliff orphanage that was always alone. Never spoke too much, never really liked to engage with anybody. He was feared because, again, like Rin, he also has features that are not completely human. And you also knew that he had quite a temper. And when this temper tend to come out, his human features will become more beast-alike features. He was never really a troublemaker, but when trouble happened, yeah, he was there. At one point, you just never saw him again.
See, my memory is a bit foggy of back then, but I do remember him.
And Rin goes, we would do jobs all around the lower city, and that eventually is how we ended up meeting Borealis. And she looks at Borealis and gives her a smile, which she returns, but obviously the smile is very short-lasting. She goes, before that, Echoes, he calls the man on the table, was my only friend, and even my family. And, well, if we're being honest, if Borealis wasn't so nice, we would have probably scammed her and gone off with her money. But we decided to work for her and became her personal militia. A militia of 3. And she looks at her, well, she gestures at herself, at the man on the table, and at Percival. She continues and goes, we knew that there was all sorts of bad shit going down near the Grey District, but we weren't really sure of what. Borealis, of course, can't really go there. But me and him used to sneak around, see what was happening. We like to pretend we were inspectors to sneak into people's places. And with our uniforms, it wasn't actually too hard to convince people. Plus, the lower city was always our stomping grounds, so we knew every single bit of that place. Eventually, our investigating took us down to the sewers. We had heard about of cleaners there who ended up just sick and dying. And Rin starts pacing around as she says this. We figured whatever was down there, we could take it on. It didn't sound that bad. I had my magic, he had his muscles. I mean, we've been taking care of shit forever. Anyways, we ended up coming across another path that led to some sort of different looking area. I didn't know it back then, but now I know it was one of these hidden laboratories we've mentioned. Rin just kind of stops and stands next to the operating table, and she goes, we were very careful, or at least I thought we were. We snuck around, looked around for the people. We knew there had to be some people because the place was too organized, too clean. And when we came across said people, well, we didn't have much time to decipher who they were or what they were doing. They were just strong enough to find us even through my sneaking spell. I thought we could keep up the ruse, but, well, that's when she just kind of curls her hand into a fist, just kind of slams it onto the operating table, and she goes, "This stupid monkey just yanked me back and tossed me behind him. I hit the wall and I was disoriented, but I remember seeing him getting hit by something from whatever they were making. And at this, you can see that Rin starts crying. You can see tears rolling down her cheeks. And she goes, "By the time I came back to my senses, he fell. I thought maybe he was just unconscious, but if I could just get away and hide, I'd be able to come back and heal him. I've done that before. It's nothing strange to me. And even if he did, die, I could revivify him. I know the spell." She wipes the tears off her eyes and goes, I'm wild-shaped. I turned into a mouse and hid until the people were gone. By then I knew what they were. Those shadow druids. I wouldn't be able to take them alone, but I didn't want to anyways. I just wanted to get Echoes back and help him. And she stays quiet for a second. You see Borealis walk over to her and just place a hand on her shoulder. And she goes, "I shifted back when I saw them just dump his body out of the lab into the sewers like he was just garbage. I waited till they were gone and then grabbed him. I tried healing him, but nothing happened. He had no wounds. I tried Revivify, but that didn't work either. God, I was scared. So I used my gentle repose on him. I don't know if that would even help, but I couldn't risk him. It's starting to decompose." And then she looks over to the group. "Once I was back here, I tried something else. Revivify has a limit, but I even tried speaking with the dead, but even that didn't work. So he's not dead, right?" She just kind of looks at Borealis, kind of waiting for an answer, and Borealis just kind of nods at Rin. But then, what the hell is he? And she pulls over the blanket up to cover him again, and she goes, "He sacrificed his life for me, and I'm not gonna let anything or anyone stop me from bringing him back. At least that was the plan. But this goddamn outbreak, we can't do anything to try and figure out what that thing the druids were working on did to him. And I'm not risking anything happening to Borealis. And I know I can't deal with all of that by myself. Call me selfish, call me whatever, but I can't just throw away my life after what he did just to save me."
If you threw away your life, then who would be there potentially to save him? from what I can see, it doesn't seem 100% like he's gone. Do you mind if I examine him for a moment? I don't know if an outside perspective would shed any light or help in the circumstance that we find another in his condition.
Rin just kind of wipes more tears off, and she just kind of gestures for you to like go on. As she turns around and goes over to a corner, just kind of resting her arms on like a table, just trying to like stop the crying at this point.
Did I roll medicine?
Yeah, if you want to, you can roll a medicine check, please.
Okay.
Okay. Kipper, you start by, first of all, you remove half of the blanket to start looking for vitals. There are no vital signs. No pulse, no breathing. You inspect the eyes, the pupils are normal looking. There is no nervous responses. As far
Is
as
he wearing like a hospital gown or just like
no, he's just wearing like
jammies?
yeah, he's just wearing like pajama pants pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you try like moving there. The surprising thing about this is that there is no rigor mortis. The body can move freely.
Have you been casting repose relatively frequently, or
Borealis chimes in and goes, yes, every week.
It doesn't necessarily seem as if he's dead, and it doesn't seem like he's alive. It seems more as if he just paused. Like every single one of his functions just paused for a moment and stayed in it. If what I'm hearing is that you tried Revivify and it didn't bring him back, I have a feeling whatever they did, I don't necessarily know how shadow druids work, but if druids help interpret life and give life, do shadow druids, can they take life and use life? Is there a potential that they have him in some form somewhere else?
Borealis nods and goes, yes, as far as the things I've read about shadow druids, it could be a reason why. And this is why we're trying to figure out the involvement of these people. I mean, the kidnappings, this whole plague, and it's gotta be them. But we just can't tell for certain. And now that you are helping our cause, you must understand that, well, our goals are personal, yes, but we're also trying to do this for the city.
Yeah.
Don't shadow druids hate civilizations, though?
You would think that, yes. And there may be some that do. However, a lot of shadow druids actually don't mind the large populated civilizations. As a matter of fact, shadow druids are usually the ones to reject nature. So it would make sense that would be in a technological utopia like this.
The more buildings there are, the more objects to cast shadow that they can hide within. So,
yes.
Trying.
Especially. Oh, sorry.
That's
No, Taurin's just thinking out loud.
Understood.
And Borealis starts
Mm.
leading everybody outside like the operating room as
Wait.
oh yeah, what's up?
I wanna, if I delve within my lizard brain,
Okay.
can I think of anything that would have to do with matters of the soul?
Of matters of the soul. Ooh.
The soul.
Mhm.
Any wacky things in
I
my
will say you
travels?
can try give me a history check.
While Rexmoa is thinking,
I'm good at
say
those.
to I'll say to Borealis, maybe it's some kind of stasis. The hags did something similar, and they at least had some association with the shadow druids.
Borealis says, I did think about that. However, I tried dispelling whatever magic was on him, but there was no magic. And Rexmoa, you've definitely heard about like the soul and some of its like properties, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But something like this is really unheard of. For like, you really have not heard of anything like this.
I will keep my mouth shut.
And Borealis starts leading you out of the operating room, so no people are like in there, and she closes the door after everybody, going back into her laboratory. And she goes, well, for now, we gotta focus on this plague first, because I have a suspicion that if we manage to get the things in the sewers, we may be able to get the people involved with all of this mess.
Would
Well-
agree. I mean, the shadow druids appeared at the orphanage. They appeared with the counselor for the saints at the Grey District quarantine.
They came to my village,
Oh,
way in the north in the mountains.
Can you tell me more about that?
I only remember a little bit because it was the middle of the night and they attacked, driving us all out and taking all the kids.
Interesting. Now that I think about it, Saphir did mention some of her students were also missing. But why would they
So it
want all
has
of these
something to
people?
do. Why magic? And the absence of magic. That's curious.
Do they need a lot of mana to power something? Y'all, you better say Gusenheit or Gusentite in chat.
It's fine. It's a little close. It's fine. And
Need some honey and some lime.
I'm actually
and drink
drinking.
it all up.
I'm actually drinking a chamomile tea with honey right now.
There you go.
Hey, yo, that's perfect. It makes you sleepy and it coats your throat with the
Indeed.
good juice.
That's why I've been able to speak for this long, because Jesus Christ, I wasn't able to
I have
before.
a lemon tea.
But Borealis said, we're really not sure. Wherever it is, it's something that lies underneath the whole city. And, well, everything is definitely connected. And we have to figure out how. But first, we have to deal with this plague. Now, with your samples, and she looks at Taurin, of course. With your samples, she says, this will help us to figure out more things. I am going to have my staff, and of course myself, working tirelessly until we find a cure. So don't you worry, we will not let you become one of those things. You have my
Perfect.
word.
Ugh.
Do you think maybe direct sunlight might at least slow the progress? Maybe using, I don't know, illuminate spells, even during nighttime? Do you think that's too much?
Oh, no, we did actually try that. And she looks at Rin. She goes, we tried simulating sunlight with spells. However, the results were interesting. While a cast of sunlight does, like, hurt them, it doesn't have the same effect as real sunlight. I'm assuming it's gotta be because, well, ultraviolet rays are something that the spell cannot simulate properly.
Understood. Well, just know you treating Taurin, especially now that you've revealed to us the condition that Echo is in. I think, yeah, while you try to figure out what is happening with Taurin, I'm going to try as hard as I can to at least get a proper diagnosis of some sort, at least. And I don't want to lead you on with unnecessary hope if there isn't any, because the prognosis isn't necessarily in your favor. But if there's anything I can do to bring him back, I will.
For now, yes, you can help me be my eyes around the town. Rin, who has been quiet in this whole time since they left the room, kind of perks up at Taurin, and she goes, "Did only the children were taken from your village?"
That I know of. I know for sure my sister was taken. So they're after young ones. That's all I know.
Borealis goes, I'm so sorry to hear, and I will definitely try and find your sister as well.
I hope she's safe.
Borealis goes, so, as I said, with the samples that you've been giving me, I was able to study a little bit of the composition of this thing, and as I mentioned, while direct sunlight is the only thing that can really kill them, I've been starting to work on a little something. And she goes, you can see, like, she gestures over for you to follow and goes into one of the tables in this large workshop laboratory that she has. And you can see, like, there is a glass case made out of very thick reinforced glass. And it has on the inside, there's like a little flap for you, so you to drop something in. And this glass, by the way, the glass is tinted. It's not like clear. It is tinted very dark, but you can still see through it. And she goes, Percy, would you mind showing our friends one of the prototypes I've been working on recently? And Percival goes, of course, Lady Borealis. And Percy walks over next to this, like, glass encasing, and he pulls out what looks to be this kind of oval-shaped object that has a button on one of the sides, and you see a few wires kind of connecting this button to some other bits of the machinery. It is, as I said, kind of looks like a remote of sorts, but it's only one button. And Percy goes over, grabs one of them, clicks the button, opens the flap of the thing and just drops it and closes the flap. And suddenly, after a couple of seconds, you hear the detonation and the inside of this glass dome completely lights up. And it is, even though it is untinted glass, the light is very strong that it kind of like makes you recoil a little bit. And Borealis kind of covers her eyes a little at this, and she goes, I have been working on an explosive device that, of course, it is harmless to any of us. It's just very, very bright. That if I am able to, will unleash a tiny amount of sunlight into the surroundings.
That was sun?
It's a little bit of it's a compound of various elements and gases and other things, but yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing and scary at the same time.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, I am just trying to, create some sort of advantage. If these creatures only come out at night, we need to bring the sun to them. And of course,
Fascinating.
Rin pipes in and goes, kind of like a daylight spell, but made without magic. And Borealis goes, yes, well, unlike my sister, Zephyr, I am more on the technical side of things. She is more into the arcane.
So she would probably weaponize this instead? Is that what you're trying to say, or?
Oh, no. She would probably not even try to use those. She'd probably cast a spell at them or something. No, when these are properly finished and I can make them entirely stable, if they're not too stable, so a lot of movement can make them explode in your hand. We don't want that to happen. So, whenever I make them more stable, I was thinking maybe I can give you some to go into the sewers and kick the bad guys.
We have a unstable one as reference material, perhaps?
Oh, if you want to. However, I will say a lot of movement will make this explode. But the gases and the elements inside are very volatile.
How much movement is a lot of movement? Could you jump with one of these?
And she goes, I can show you. And and she gestures Percy and she goes, Percival, would you like to demonstrate a movement test? And Percival goes, indeed, Lady Borealis. I suggest everybody to turn around.
No.
And
Okay.
as Percy goes and grabs one of these things, he clicks a button. You can hear the clicking of the button as everybody turns around, and he goes, now I will proceed to shake my arm. And you can hear the movement of the arm shaking, like the machinery going zzz, 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 and immediately poof, and the whole room lights up for like a quick second.
It's like a flash grenade.
No.
Okay, that was out of character, but that was just me.
Right, even when looking away.
Yeah, you can see like I said, it's like the same thing as if you were in a dark room and somebody turned on the lights, but this is broad daylight where this is happening.
full concentrated sun in your face.
Exactly.
Got it.
And after the flash has passed, the Borealis turns around, and obviously Percy is completely unharmed.
I see your point. But, perhaps it still could be useful. And Rexmoa does this little thinking pose and crosses his arms and puts his hand on his face. I've actually encountered something similar to these, and I've learned somewhat the recipe on my travels, but mine are not nearly as bright, and they're much louder.
Oh, interesting. I didn't think of the possibility of these being loud. I guess I was just focusing on the sunlight aspect. Are you a tinkerer of sorts?
Yeah. I like to use it to mess with sorcerers.
Oh. That's a little bit rude. What did sorcerers ever do to you?
Magic missile.
That is all.
Okay, well, I can see your frustration now. And Rin goes, oh, right, remember, we need to give Taurin the earring. She can keep in contact whenever they go, and she can tell us if her situation changes.
Right.
And
It goes from talking to gurgles, you'll know the difference.
And Borealis goes, oh, right, yes. Percy, do we have the earrings? And Percival goes, right here. And he walks over, picks up a little box, and brings it over to Borealis. Borealis opens it, and you can clearly see there are 2 earrings. And Borealis places her hand on top of him, and she casts something. You can hear her like muttering magical words, and suddenly the earrings give off a slight glow that dims almost immediately. It takes like a couple seconds for them to dim. And she goes, all right, you keep one, and we keep one. And she hands you over your one earring. And Taurin,
Thank you.
what you have, well, actually, Borealis may be able to explain this better other than me saying it. And she goes, okay, so the earring that you have right there is an earring of message. You will be able to send a message directly to the other person wearing it. And she just jingles the other earring on her hand.
That's amazing. Hello.
I will be able to reply to it. Unlike the stone, we needed that one-way stone just in case, so we're not tracked back.
Genius. I like this. And it's a little stylish.
Rin says, that's how I talked to Bo before bringing you here. And she moves over some of her hair, and you can see that there is a similar earring on her ear as well.
Oh, so can we all use it too to talk to you as well?
As long as you're wearing it, yes.
Okay. What if someone doesn't have ears?
Oh.
Do you have to wear it on your ear?
I think a scale would work.
And you look at the dragonborn lady that is also a reptile, that is also wearing earrings. Not on her ears, but she has an adornment where the earring goes into one of her horns.
Oh.
She goes, oh, it shouldn't be an issue.
For a moment,
through his spines and sighs.
And
for a moment, I thought the earrings would just fall on the floor as physics realized what was going on.
It's like, oh yeah.
Jingle, jingle, clank. Oh man.
Rin says, Taurin, please don't give it to the yappers.
I like it. It'll stay with me for a while. No worries.
At least my yapping was relatively important information.
Yes, I also feel like I had to share important information.
Maybe a little less. Maybe a little less important, but it was still enjoyable.
Oh, it's fine. I love talking to people. You can talk to me if Rin doesn't want to.
Very appreciated. Thank you, Borealis.
Wait, so we can switch channels and who we talk to? That's even more. That's amazing.
Well, the person who's wearing the other ring is going to listen, so most of the times it's going to be me.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'll refrain from saying too much, I guess.
She goes,
I'll just say the normal amount.
Dude, the girl GM, the ladies.
and she goes, oh, yes, and also, if at any point you need something enhanced with my tinkering, I could also be of help.
Enhancements? How about maybe something to help with the sluggishness? Maybe a haste spell or something? Just in case.
A haste spell might be a little too much for the sluggishness. I could recommend you a good cup of coffee. Percival knows how to make a very nice one.
You think caffeine will work?
I mean, I definitely will do the trick, but, you know.
I'll have to give that a go. I'll have to try out, get some quick instant coffee with me. Yes.
Good. So, now that we've talked about all of this, I feel like we are getting closer to discovering this whole deal. But I will have to ask you something as well. You're probably not going to like this too much, but you can't really remain in the upper city too long.
I figured us.
Oh.
Well,
All of us.
Okay. And sorry, but especially you. I'm sorry, but first of all, we cannot bring the infection to the upper city. And, well, second, we are... If they discover me or my house doing these kind of meetings or deals, well, I will be in a lot of trouble.
Do you have a facility in the lower city, or I'm assuming that when you said the people who work under you will be helping Taurin, if it's not here, I'm assuming that you have some place of minor operations in the...
Don't worry. If it comes to that, I will deliver whatever is needed with Rin, or make Rin bring you over here. Perhaps later when things are not so tense between the lower city and the upper city with this whole plague deal. Perhaps later I can add your biometrics to my secret entrance and you can go in and out as you please.
That sounds really cool.
Kipper's thinking about saying stuff, but he's just holding it.
This is a bit unrelated, but how much does your sister know of our dealings?
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure she's aware. What do you ask?
I was just wondering, since we had come in contact with her before, thanks to Rin, was just wondering if she was an ally to this specific type of thing.
Oh, of course she is. Oh, she's just having to manage a whole school of magic and give classes, and yeah, she's busy in her own life as well. We do have meetings with her every once in a while, but of course that is to be expected. She is a member of the family Trishul.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that if something was said, we didn't have to be careful about what we said with her.
Oh, no, you're all right. Just, you should be careful with the people around her, not her.
Of course.
Interesting.
Be a little more discreet.
Rin says, I only talked to Borealis about the nitty-gritties. Saphir has so much on her mind already, but she is trustworthy.
I have a feeling Sophia has much more on her mind as of recent. She did scry into Ambrose's mind and kind of saw everything about our adventures thus far. So it is. She's honestly, if you want to ask a little bit more about our whole reason for being here, she could probably fill you in. But yeah.
So she didn't tell me everything? Okay, well, I am definitely going to send her a message now. And you can see like her eyes are glowing as she's like muttering some words into magic.
Really would have figured she'd tell you about the show of Novithius, since she had the same reaction as you did.
I mean, it's okay to not. She's probably still in shock. I mean, don't take it out on her entirely, okay?
And after she's done like muttering the words, she goes, "Oh no, she did not tell me much. Well, that's why I had my reaction." Well, then again, we don't talk like too much, but still, she should have told me.
Well, I'm sure you're both busy women, much to do. Perhaps it escaped her mind.
But you are siblings. You are still allowed to kvetch a little bit.
Rin pats Boreas' arm and she goes, "Well, we have him right here. Ask him away." And she goes, "Yes, okay. Now going back to the stones. What was that about the end of the world?"
Oh.
Well, you know the whole story about the 4 titans breaking apart from Crenia and such?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so essentially ever since they broke apart from Crenia, they would shape the world in the way that they would want, and then life would spring up from the world, civilizations, eventually. And for reasons that are not quite understood yet, after a certain period of time, the Titans reawaken and then remold the world. Every civilization, every living creature, every plant, every existing thing is destroyed, and then the bits and pieces of everything that was is used to make what is new. How many times this has happened, we don't know, but we know that it has happened many times.
Rebirth.
Our job... Oh, sorry, Taurin.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Our job essentially is to reunite all of the stones and reform Crenia. So far, that seems like the only course of action to stop this from happening, especially considering that as of recent, the Titans have started with their waking.
They've started to wake up because the Cult of Fire is creating chaos wherever they go. And as they do, the Titans start to notice.
Rin raises an eyebrow and she goes, "So Rockman has 1 stone, so who's got the others?"
Well, luckily, I'm in possession of 1, and I point to my armlet that I'm wearing, and unluckily, one of the leaders of the Cult of Fire is in possession of another. And those are all the stones accounted for thus far.
No idea where the last one is.
Yeah.
Rin's eyes go wide at that, and she actually looks very surprised. Borealis gasps again, and she goes, "Oh my goodness, that's another one!" And she walks over to you, just kind of turns you around so like your armlet is facing her as she's looking at the stone, and she goes, "Wow, this one is much more sparkly."
It was a gift from Oris. I'm glad you like it.
And she goes,
Oh, good.
She pulls back after like admiring the stone a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, well, that's not good. Oh, but you do have 2 stones. That's one more than the cult of fire, right?"
This is true.
Yeah.
I like the positive outlook.
Trying to keep it that way.
Yeah. Also, if I don't have my stone, I die.
But I'm sorry. Okay, you guys are full of very interesting things. We have to go one at a time, because okay, well, we've been talking about a global cataclysm, and now the stones are right here in my presence, and now you're going to die if the stones are not with you, and the evil man.
He's not going to die.
It's just a side effect.
It's something that we're working on. You're fine.
I mean, no
fine,
one lives forever
Rexmoa,
anyways,
don't
Kipper. It's
worry.
fine.
I mean, for the sake of me, all of you will, but... Or at least live longer, maybe not immortal. Ignore that last part.
Tick-tock goes the clock for Taurin.
Well, wait. So your job is to get the 4 stones, right?
Well, basically, making sure the different kingdoms on each other's throats is another thing. But that's easier said than done. Somehow harder than getting a stone that belongs to the Titans themselves.
Yeah, well, it is much harder to change the mentality of a lot of people, but and so your goal is to reform Crenia, correct?
Correct.
Why?
Well, it
Why
seems like
reform Crenia?
Yes.
Well,
as you can go, lad.
no, I think I've
Just to
spoken
see what
enough.
you've learned.
I'm just tripping over everything. I apologize.
It's okay. It's
You can
okay,
say
lad.
something else.
Don't even trip, Kip.
Oh no.
I'll take care of this one.
That was said. Yes.
Well, it would seem that, well, even the Titans cannot exist forever. And according to some manuscripts and texts that we have unearthed, well, as they age, they become more, let's say, unstable and have less control over their domains, causing chaos within the world itself. And as far as we've been able to see, the only solution to that is to reunite them once again into the original goddess Crenia.
Oh, don't get me wrong, it's a very noble goal. However, isn't Crenia the one, destroying the whole world? So, I mean, I don't want to oppose the will of a god, but if you were to ask me, wouldn't, not forming it be better?
It's not Crenia themselves. I think that it's the 4 separate parts. There's almost some sort of... It doesn't feel purposeful, I don't think, from what I've heard of these 2 recounting their conversations. It almost feels like an impulse that the Titans get to destroy and reform and recreate. If we don't attempt to reform Crenia, the world ends. Worst case scenario, we reform Crenia and the world still ends. At that point, it's not as if anything has changed. And I don't think there's really any way off of this rock. So the best thing, I guess, is find out what will keep it from being reformed again.
Rin crosses her arms and she says, "You say they cause chaos. Isn't chaos from the spider one?"
Well,
You go first.
Sorry.
I keep
Okay.
talking.
okay. According to a prophecy we found in the monastery to Crenia, Ixis would cause the ocean to swell to its full height. With Vithius, the mountains would crash and crumble. Horus would cause the fury of the wind and the thunder and lightning, and Cadzius would cause the world to burn. And we've seen it firsthand. Back in the Dwarven city, before we spoke to Vithius and after she was waking, despite how much she was trying to stay asleep, and every time she opened her eyes, the entirety of that town would shudder under her weight. It was like the mountain would crash in on itself at any moment.
Didn't a wizard say we could stop it or something, though?
You mean Theatric? I mean, yeah, that's the whole reason why we're seeking to reform Crenia.
So, this whole quest of yours is to reform Crenia. But, I mean, again, I'm not trying to discourage you from your quest or, trying to oppose the will of a god. But, wouldn't it be easier if you just put the Titans back to sleep? Because, well, it seems that reforming Crenia would not do that.
How
What
exactly would
happened?
we put them to sleep? Do you know a power more powerful than the Titans?
I mean, I can do some research. I have a lot of books about everything. I'm pretty sure we can find something like that. Isn't that right, Percival? And he goes, yes, my lady. I believe we have books on the matter. I will have someone search for them.
There's gotta be some spell, trinket, that put them to sleep in the first place. Or was it Crania's power, maybe? And these gods, are they really gods at this point? I don't know what I believe in.
I mean, did they just go to sleep after they finished remaking the world?
Just, they're stones, right? Torn kind of look at the pummel on Ambrose's back, looking at the stone, looking to the stone, of course, that Rexmoa showed. They're just crystals, stones.
Oh,
And these gods
no.
talk to you? This is
Oh,
Torn just asking.
these are not just crystals, I will say. I have read about them and these are very powerful. So it's for somebody who doesn't know about them, they're probably just stones, but oh boy, that's a lot of power in that little thing.
How'd it get all that power? That would be my question.
I, for one, think that there's not really anything in this world more powerful than the Titans themselves. They are the creators of the skies, the earth, and the sea. After all, I think it would probably be best to just, well, work with the natural order, I would say.
I personally think if theoretically there was something that could rival the power of the Titans, it would have to be something from outside of this world. Whether it's behind the veil of the stars or in another dimension, I literally have no idea. I'm not that advanced in scientific methodology, I guess, if you will.
You know what? Then I will help you research these things as well. Well, I have a lot to read, a lot of things to do. But it's fine. It's fine. I love reading. I love it. So I can definitely try and help you out with your questions and all.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. I feel like this has become more and more of a situation of we scratch your back, you scratch ours. So I appreciate the mutually beneficial relationship.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. So, I think I've kept you all for too long. I need to get back into a lot of things that we have to do. Plus, we need to use this blood before it, coagulates.
Expires.
So, Percy, call the rest of the staff and tell them we are starting our research once again. And as for you, Rin, would you mind taking them back to the lower city? As I said, unfortunately, you cannot stay in this part. I know it's awful. I wish I could have you around, but I don't want to get in trouble and destroy this whole operation.
May I say goodbye to the children?
Yeah, of course, yes. They will remain over here until I have gathered a proper time for me to deliver them to Zephyr. So don't worry, they will be very well taken care of. And Rin goes, I guess. And she just moves over to Borealis and gives her a hug.
Thank you. I think they would be heartbroken if we left without leaving. And to be honest, so would I.
Yeah. And
so, fight a Luda.
And so, then Percy would open the door and just kind of lead you all outside with Rin. Borealis would stay. As you see, once the door opens, Percy just calls over some other little robots that come walking into the door and just start taking positions and stuff. So as you guys exit, you exit through the study through the hallway, the doors close, and the tinkering would start on Borealis' side. And as you go outside with Rin, obviously she will take you to the courtyard where you can see the kids are just running around and playing. It is a very large courtyard, very much in the fashion of this large manor. It has to have a very large courtyard. Again, it is very green. The grass looks insanely good. There are some bushes and things like that. And the kids are just having fun. You can see a few robots are just following them around, and but mostly letting them do their thing.
Yeah, Rexmoa would run out to go meet him. Probably play with them a bit, entertain them, throw one really high up into the air.
Aww.
Yeah, the kids are, they are happy to see you guys. They would go over, let Rexmoa just play with them and stuff.
Kipper would go next to Ambrose and just be like, "So you like your new hair?" Specifically to, the ribbons and the crazy ponytails and such.
I did say previously that I wanted to start my own orphanage. It would be wrong of me to deny a kid their enjoyment.
Exactly. And just remember, it's that genuine interaction and relationship. I think that would make them feel safest more than ever. I feel like in your previous times with protecting the children, you always thought of their safety first. And I feel like sometimes you forgot their names, but just showing that genuine, even just little conversations, silly things. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be saying stuff like this right now, but I'm full of words and advice and dumb thoughts.
I'll look up and say, your words are true. When I was younger in that orphanage, I never really knew what the next day would hold. I never knew if I could help the other kids. I barely knew them because all I cared to know as if they were all right.
Mm.
I was a terrible sibling. I may have helped them have food in their belly, but I didn't know them, and they didn't know me. It makes me feel worse, knowing that perhaps if I had done things differently, if I had truly spent time with them.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Ambrose. You have a tendency to spiral. Don't just. You're
I think
fine.
You misunderstand this time. I wonder if maybe I could have properly met Echoes and maybe helped Vryn and him. And I wonder if maybe my life, I wouldn't have needed to meet my mentor if I had just truly met my siblings.
But then you would never have met me. And I think that I really need you right now.
I think I said it before. I don't regret fleeing that orphanage, following my mentor, my father, around. It was the best choice I've ever made in my entire life. Though, I do wonder what happened.
Yeah. I see these kids playing and it just reminds me of, I don't know, the shenanigans in the streets. Anytime we've found any little bit of coin in a crevice of a sidewalk or successfully pickpocketed an elderly man when he wasn't looking. Which, I mean, in hindsight kind of sounds horrible, but we were children and he was wearing like a lot of finery, so in our defense, he didn't necessarily need it, but I don't know. How I was taken in. I know. Similar upbringings. We're both good at pickpocketing. Although probably me better than you now because you are very large. That's a compliment, I think. No, that's just a statement. Never mind. But yeah.
Rin
I
speaks.
wouldn't-
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm like, Rin just appears between me and Ambrose.
Well, she's with you guys around like the outside, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Reading the comments.
yeah. You can say the things that Rin has been saying to Ambrose. Sorry.
Oh, well, she spoke to pretty much everybody there. She says, before I take you all back to the lower city, this is as a peaceful a place as any to lay your mentor to rest, Ambrose. A place you'll be remembered and then you can visit again.
I will take a serious expression and look towards Rin and say, is there a specific place here? I mean, I am thankful, but I am also not very knowledgeable about where or how to lay someone to rest.
Well, let's see what Rin has to say. Rin nods and says, Borealis' parents are buried here as well. And at some parts of in the courtyard, there would be like a gated section where you would see like the very fancy graves of the parents of Borealis.
This is fine with Borealis as well, then. I wouldn't want to presume upon that.
Rin says, I can't see her saying no in any universe.
Then it seems I'll have to find a way to thank her. And you, for that matter. You've helped us a lot, and put a lot of unnecessary trust in us.
Rin says, well, you pay me back by bringing echoes.
I will do everything I can to bring him back, or at least get you closer. If there's a potential that he can be brought back, I don't necessarily know the long-term effect. There is a potential if, whether it's his mind or his general life energy has been removed from his body, there might be a portion of time where it has to readjust. That is, if it can be reunited and it hasn't dissipated in some form. I just don't want to get your hopes too high and prolong the grieving process. Although I know you've probably been grieving for quite some time.
Rin says 2 years, in fact, to you, Kipper.
I apologize if I'm curt. I also know what it feels like to have your street family shattered by grief, so I didn't cope with it well, so I just don't want to set you into that way. Also, I love this music. I mean, all of it. Especially the sad time music.
Rin says, with a nod to Kipper, I understand. And then she would lead them over to the gated section and putting you inside.
Well, I guess to the party, I suppose I will say, if you could grant me one last favor, I would like to put the physical body of my mentor to rest now.
Sure. Let's give him one big farewell.
Yes, this is as good of a place as any. Maybe much better than whatever we could find within the rest of the city.
As long as it wasn't that orphanage, I think I am, and he would be satisfied.
Well, let's go.
Yeah. She would lead you inside and find a space in there. There is a corner, because obviously she doesn't want to ruin the very graves or the spaces set for the family nearby. And Rin will move her hands and cast the spell Shape Earth or Mold Earth, I think it's called, one of the two, to make a small grave to for you, Ambrose, to deposit the remains.
I will take the bag that I have and I will, remove the pieces of the skeleton and I will slowly put it into the grave along with the cloak as well. And kind of almost using the cloak as like a blanket, I'll drape it over the skeleton, and I will also take the braid that I had removed and I will place it on top of the cloak, kind of like over where the ribcage would be.
Yeah, you can tell that the space is more than enough for you to put all the remains that you want inside of it. And once you're done, Rin would cast the same spell to gently bury everything around. And as it's all buried, she would also use Druidcraft to put some nice flowers and plants on it. So even though, it is definitely not going to mimic the probably very fancy gravestones that the family Trishul had, you can tell that this is a great gesture as well.
I will look upon it and I'll kind of kneel in front of where Rin is using the Druidcraft on, and I will just gently remove the sword from my back, and I will just kind of hold it in front of me and speak aloud to the memory of my mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Just gently stroking the blade as I do, looking over the differences that are now obvious in the blade and glancing between the molded earth in it. Viren, my mentor, my father, there is no one in this world that will ever replace you or be anything like you. I know we were only together 5 years. Such a short time. But those years that we spent together, they helped me, changed me for the better. You undid everything that I suffered at the hands of Evelyn, at the hands of that orphanage, all the pain and suffering that I went through. Those 5 short years that I spent under your tutelage, you granted me light, salvation, a cure for my troubles. And even after you left and I was alone searching for you, even when I foolishly assumed that I was the one who, even when I assumed that you abandoned me and I abandoned you, that even when I blamed myself all these years, every single day you guided my footsteps. Every day I felt your hand guiding mine. Every day I could tell that you were there in spirit, ensuring that I wouldn't fall, that I wouldn't falter, that I wouldn't walk away from who I am. And, you know, even after all this time, even when I was worried that I wouldn't find you again, even when I was worried that I wouldn't amount to anything, that I would just be a thing left to the dust, unable to remember who you really were, I met the most wonderful of people. I got friends who, despite all the difficulties I gave them, they gave me life beyond what I had with you. I know that without you, it's going to be hard, knowing that I don't have anyone to search for anymore. But now I'm happy because you are at peace and you are with a trusted friend. I'm happy that I finally kept my promise to you. And even better, I have a promise to keep to others now. Not just you, but my friends, my other family, and to Vithius as well. I am not alone, so please, do not worry about me. I am safe. I am strong, because I had you to guide me, and I still do. And now I have my friends, Kipper, Rexmoa, Taurin. And I have Vithius as well. Trust in me to continue to be who I am. And when the day comes, I will see you again. As a son, and I will see you as my father. Farewell, Father, the person I hold most dear. Thank you for showing me light beyond the darkness. I love you.
And with that, everybody around Ambrose, is close to him, head down as he's listening to the final words that Ambrose is giving. And there's a moment of silence that everybody, in unison decide to do to honor the memory of Ambrose's mentor, who was, by all means, his father. And after it's done, you guys just pat Ambrose on the shoulder, just give him some courage. Even Rin just kind of gives her a hopeful smile. And we will end the session right there, because that's all the time that I have. And also my throat's kind of killing me right now, so
Good job.
yes sir. And
Made it.
so we're gonna say goodbye to the people watching the VODs on the YouTube channel. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Bob Squad.
Get some sleep.
Yes sir. And also thank you for the raid. I'm so sorry I cannot stay for
Thank
Oh,
you.
goodness.